Alright, what's going on, friends? So we're about a little less than 2 weeks into my weekly video promise, and I'm already missing the deadline, so that's great for us, right? I don't want to toot my horn too much here, but if I can say so myself, I think this is an excellent start. Luckily, this is a promise I only made to myself, so only I get to be disappointed at myself. So, ha! So during these 2 weeks, I didn't really do a whole lot of productive stuff creatively. I applied for like 15 jobs and I did college work, and then at the end of it, I would have no motivation to do anything besides play games aimlessly for like 7 hours. So, sorry about that. That being said though, don't get my lack of creation mixed up for a lack of trying to create something. They're very similar but different, you know? I had this thing that I think most people do. I had a bug in my head and I wanted to make something. But whenever I'd sit down and try and write the script, I'd find myself getting lost in my own head, and a lot of things would be being said in my own head. Things like, wow, you can't talk about this for more than 2 minutes, or wow, this is a slog to read. I can't imagine presenting this would be fun. Or, dude, you're fucking ass at this, give this shit up, I think that's all pretty normal things to hear in your head whenever you make anything, right? I've always considered myself to be a little gifted when it comes to making things creatively, but I'd be willing to bet that these thoughts are not unique to me, because if they were, they'd probably be the first and only unique thoughts I've ever had in my fucking life. So today, I want to tell you guys what I was telling myself over these 2 weeks, which is, I think you should push yourself to pursue that thing you've always wanted to do. Regardless if it's something like drawing, or writing, or learning a language, well, I just think that there's no time like the present to start doing that kind of stuff. So I was talking to one of my friends recently, and he spoke to me a lot about wanting to write a story, but he doesn't do it because he feels like his ability is lacking, or that he just doesn't have the inspiration that he thinks he does. And I thought that was pretty sad, because I think skills like writing are like working out. It's something they have to build up over years of doing it. No one starts out writing Lord of the Rings, and no one comes out of the womb a certified hitmaker or knowing 600 languages. I'm of the belief that when you're doing something for yourself and not for a paycheck, you have absolutely no reason to do it in a specific way. I mean, that's why I make videos the way I do. I want to do them. There's no reason to push myself to make something I don't want to do because my livelihood depends on it. That's why I push myself at a rate I want to be pushed at. And that's not to say that, if my livelihood ever suddenly starts depending on it, I'm gonna just give up. I know that this is something I want to do, and I want there to be soul in it. I want to get to a point where I can make these videos at a good pace, rather than bumming around and wishing that I did it all day. And I'm sure that many of you are in that state, wishing you did something, but you haven't done it yet. That's why you gotta push yourself just a little bit harder each day. It can be a story, it can be a video script, or you can just collect your thoughts in something in a way that feels fun to you. Because I think that's what the core of creativity should be. Fun. In today's world where productivity rules over all, we should be able to have fun even when we aren't gaining financially from it. That's the core of what's at our heart. The heart of humanity. By the way, if you made it this far, thank you. I got a couple bigger ideas coming up for videos about some topics I've been thinking about recently, but I don't think it would fit with this whole gameplay commentary style I've been doing, so I want to experiment until I find something that works. Please wait for that. I'm hoping to make something I can be happy with. It will be out when it comes out, but no, I'm pushing myself a little bit more each day. So, to close things off, I want to leave with a quote I saw earlier from fucking Nick Cage of all people. I know, what a weird person to quote. He said, "I am a big believer in not letting AI dream for us. Robots cannot reflect the human condition for us." And he said a lot more stuff that I thought was raw as hell, so I'll link that article in the description if you want to read it yourself, but I wanted to focus on that. I've heard plenty of people say they can't do something because the AI can do it themselves, and I say to that, I mean, if you're passionate about it, that's all the more reason to do it yourself. Like, I'm sure this style of content is super outdated these days. It's been corporatized, lobotomized, and manufactured in a way that AI can produce 20 of these a day. I mean, if you look at TikTok or YouTube Shorts, that's what half of these are. But personally, if I'm just being honest, I think that the AI reading over, like, Minecraft parkour gameplay, I think it's way worse than this, though. Personally, that's just me. But back to what I'm saying. I like to believe that people can detect soulless bullshit like that from a mile away. That's why I'm doing my best to talk about shit that I want to talk about. Stuff I wish I could have told myself while I was going through an extremely angsty youth. And while it's not the most impressive thing, that's a little bit of myself that drives me to make these videos. I spent half my life on this website. I'm sure eventually someone will hear my words and they might change a heart or two. And you know what? Even if I don't know that for sure, I can be happy taking that thought to the grave with me. I think so. Because truthfully, it doesn't matter how good it is, because I don't think a machine can ever connect with a human in the way another human can. Your life shouldn't be driven by productivity, especially if you're like me, and productivity makes you want to die. Like, seriously. So as the title says, I think in this day and age, your creativity is more important than ever. No one will ever take that away from you. So that's why I believe that if you want to do something, now is the time to do it. So with that, thanks for listening to me as always. Even if you don't stick around, I hope these words can ring with someone, because when I was younger, sometimes it wouldn't be the most recent works from someone that would make me feel better. I'd go back and watch a video from 3 years ago, and I'd feel better about myself even for a little bit, so thank you. Goodbye.